Hello, welcome back to the channel. Kind of having a exciting day today. What we're going to be doing today is grinding off that JB weld right there and notching it. That light is kind of irritating, isn't it? Notching it a bit and seeing if we could braze it. So today is kind of decision moment for this engine. We're going to decide if we can actually use this engine or do we have to put in that gasser over there. Interestingly, I found these pieces in the cooling jacket, little triangular kind of plasticky pieces. Definitely water pump has gone bye-bye. So we need a water pump. Before I go too much further, I wanted to show you how I got the last sleeve out. So the sleeves for cylinders 4, 3, and 2 just came out with my little brass rod like I showed you before. But cylinder 1 did not want to come out at all. So what I had to do was I welded this is a drum ripper. It was an attachment that you stick into a air hammer and you cut the top of a steel drum off. And I sacrificed this extension. This was the end that I cut off. I had already beaten that end to a bloody pulp anyway. And I put this socket on there. Now why I did that, I wanted something that I could chuck into an air hammer like that and get a better angle on beating that front cylinder out. So I had a bunch of these pieces left over from something else. It even has a part number on it. I don't even remember what these are. I don't remember why I have these, but they're just aluminum circular blocks. And what I had done, the hole in the middle is a little bit smaller than, the top of that socket right there. I wanted to make a soft thing on the end of this so that when I put it into the air gun, this wasn't hitting steel against iron. I wanted something soft on here so that I could use the air gun and not destroy the sleeve. So I just took one of these guys, drilled about halfway in, a little bit bigger diameter, big enough to just sit on top of here, and then I stuck it in the lathe and turned down the outer diameter so this fit up in between the crank cheeks, so I could be under there with the air gun, the air hammer, and this would push up against the bottom of the, this would push up against the bottom of the sleeve. It kind of looked like that, sort of. Catch my drift. Anyway, the piece that I used flew off somewhere. It departed the pattern, so I can't show you exactly, but I just wanted to show you that's what I did to get that last sleeve out. So, also, in case I failed to mention, pretty sure I did, this is the sleeve for number 4. You can see clearly, let me get a light on here, that there's cavitation. Can you see? It's that LED messing with my frame rate, I think. Right there, those are cavitation holes. But you see that white wire? In case there were any doubt, I put the wire through. Here, let's stick this in here this way. I put the little wire through the cylinder. See? That's the cavitation. That's the hole. That's where the coolant came in case there were any doubt. Anyway, proof positive. The one that didn't want to come out was number 1, but even number 1 still had, the beginnings right there, right in the middle of your screen of that was getting ready to be a hole. There's 2, cylinder 2, no holes yet, getting ready to be, and same thing with 3. So all of these needed to come out. And interestingly, I was wondering about location, like why is it always at the bottom? Let me set you down right here for a second. I'm going to climb up there and show you why I think it's always at the bottom. Every one of these engines that I've messed with for cavitation reasons, it's always the same. The cavitation is always at the bottom of the sleeves, and it's always on the cam side. Why is that? Oh, there goes my pointer. I just had a pointer so I could point this out to you. Hold on, let me go grab it. Whoop, sorry, you fell. All right, I'm using a little welding rod as a pointer. So if you look down into the block, you're looking down at the crankshaft right there. Right here is where the cavitation is happening. Right around there. And look there's very little space between where the sleeve goes in, or where the outer diameter of the sleeve is, and where the casting is. Very little space right there. But in every cylinder, it's always right here. So I'm thinking that's just because of that space. That space is so small. I think there's a lot of heat gathers there. I think there's not a whole lot of flow that gathers there, or that occurs there. I think there's some vibration of the sleeve because that's only holding on by a couple O-rings. So I think that's a perfect spot for cavitation. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. I have my grinder here, and we're just going to grind off this JB weld. We're going to do the best we can. I think this grinder is going to make pretty quick work of this. Let's find out. I'm going to put on my face mask here, face shield, safety first, and my ear. I have my ear things in so I can't hear myself talk. So, I hope I'm talking. All right. Let's get to grinding. This is a very inconvenient location. You know what? That's making a lot of dust. Here we go. For the rest, I think I'm going to use a sanding disc instead of a grinding disc. I think the cutting disc, rather, I think it cuts a little too quickly. It's a little too aggressive. So here, let's put on this sanding disc. Should be okay. Or maybe just a wire wheel. Maybe that's really all I need. just to get the rest of that stuff off of there. Let's give the wire wheel a try. When I'm using these angle grinders with wire wheels, I absolutely put my face shield on, because those little pieces of wire just come winging out of there real fast and could go right into your eye. All right, now we can see that crack again pretty clearly. Yeah. Let's get you in here. Find a pointing device. All right, so here is, trying to get you to a point where you can see it. Can you see that? There, you can see that pretty clearly, right there. And it sort of propagates along here. And I kind of lose it over here. But I can see it clearly right here. I can see it all along here. Can I? Yeah. I can see it pretty clearly. I kind of lose it here. But I get it back right here. I can see it pretty clearly right there. Pretty clearly right there. And then I kind of lose it over here. So it goes, let me hit that again with the Dremel just to be sure. All right. Because I do lose sight of it right through this area right here. There it is. Yeah, when I hit it with the, when I hit it with the sanding drum, I can see it more clearly. You're in the radiator, by the way, in case you wanted to know. So, I can see it clearly from about here, all the way across, and I lose it about here. So that's not terrible. So what I'm going to do is probably going to go back to the Dremel and notch this out. I'm going to make a notch where the crack is. We're going to start from, we're only going to focus on this top area for now. I'm going to put a notch right from here, across here, to about here. I'm not going to worry about this area just yet. We're just going to do this short section on top. I'm going to notch it. I'm going to try to braze it. Okay? This is pretty exciting stuff. And worst case scenario, I totally booger up the engine. That's not the end of the world because I have another one. I'm very fortunate to have a fallback position. So I got to change out my little wheel on my Dremel again. Back to the, I'm going to use the cutting wheel on the Dremel, because I want to go very carefully and I want to be very precise. And I just don't feel that my handheld angle grinders are precise enough, you know. So I got me a bunch of these Easy Lock discs. So, I mean, I got a whole bunch. All right. I would like better lighting. I'm old and blind, so I need better lighting. There. I love these little magnetic lights. Just some brake cleaner on this rag. Okay. The crack now does look like it flows along the bottom of that little trench I made. So, let's take a pause right here. Okay. Are we still on? I think we're still on. So I had to set up a pretty crazy lighting system here because I got to be able to see what I'm doing. And that is getting harder and harder as I get older. So what we're going to do is just try our best. Let me get my gloves. I have my oxygen. I have my oxygen and acetylene set at 7 and 7. I have no idea if that's going to be too hot. I usually have it set for about 5 and 5 when I'm brazing, but that's brazing very thin metals, like 18 gauge and thinner. So this is much thicker than 18 gauge. I do want some penetration, but I don't want to overheat it. So we're just going to start with 7 and 7. I just have never done this before. I have no idea what to expect. Okay, let's light the torch and get to work. I don't know what kind of heat I need for this. Whoops, I bumped my, dang it. Let's see if I can get into a comfy position. Wow. Doing some preheating here. I'm just going to focus on trying to get a little bit of brass in that. This is a very uncomfortable position to be in. Get a little bit of brass in that groove that I have. Of course, I just touch the knob again. This is a challenge. repositioning. What? Dang it. Did it again. This is tough. This is real tough. Dang it, now I got acetylene all over the thing. Man. Ugh. Turn the thing back off. Clean up. Try again. It is very hard to get a comfortable position. And if I can't get a comfortable position, this thing is not going to look right. Look at all that black mess. Clean that back up again. Well, I was getting it hot. That is for sure. I can see a little discoloration there. Oh, man. All right, let's try it again. Putting on my glasses and my goggles. Put my stick right there. Light it up. Okay. Boy, I'm really used to using the torch with my right hand and the filler with my left. See if I can, every time I do that here though, I bump my knobs. And I put my hand right in the light and I can't see. Trying to heat up this whole area right here. I think I need to turn up the heat on this torch a little bit. Because that iron needs to glow. Starting to glow. Not hot enough to melt the rod. It's going in. I can't clearly see my trench anymore. All right, let's see how we did. All right, let's hit this thing, see what it looks like. Okay, well, it's not too bad. Get a closer look. Well, we have some let me get another pointing device. I'm seeing some problems. Let me see if I can get you closer. Okay, so we have, looks not bad right here, but right here we have some didn't flow into the base metal. We have a void right there, and we didn't get enough material in here. But the rest not too bad. I think I'm okay using the maybe we'll use the grinding wheel to grind that off again and see what it looks like then. I think that the tip and the gas I was using is probably good because it really makes me go slow. Maybe I should be using the sander for that. Come on. So I think we can see things a little bit more clearly that way. Come on back in here. All right, so is that warm enough? That's cold enough to touch. We have to fill in, that's pretty hot right there. We have to fill in here, all along here, and here, just redo. I think we're just going to say redo. We got some filler in there, but not a lot. Not enough, I should say. All right, let's light it up. Where's my stick? There's my stick. Put my stick back here. I'm just going to try to redo that, see if we can do a better job. Just warming up the whole area again. Starting to flow here. Huh. All right, let's see how we did. Yeah, that looks a lot better. We still have a little hole right here. I got really good fill on that though. Let me hit that with the wire wheel. All right. I don't know if I'd be so bold as to call it lots better. But it is definitely an improvement. You've got a lot of bronze in here. This actually looks pretty good. There's a hole right here. You see, I lost my other pointer. There goes the wire wheel. There's a little vacation right here and a little vacation right here, but I got good fill. I'm actually happy with that. I would sand it down a little bit, smooth it down a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with that. So, yeah, I think we have, here, let me get you closer. See if I can get you closer. I sanded that down so we could see where and how the edges sort of blend into the background. Background being the parent metal. So we have something of a vacation right here. That might be a void right there, and that might be a void right here. Possibly that. But all through here, we have good meld into the parent metal. I'm real happy about that. I think that's what I was shooting for. I was shooting for that. So this way, if this does leak, or this leaks right here, or we have a couple leaks in this area, we'll just put a pin right where it's leaking. So yeah, I'm real happy about that. I think I'm going to say that this engine is the one that we're going to use. I just wanted to know if I could do that. I didn't even know if I could do that, and I think I did. So anyway, I got to be careful not to not to bang up the parting surface there, mating surface. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for now. I'm just going to keep working on this, and let's see where we go. See how far we can get today. It's you know what? It's lunchtime. I'm going to go for lunch. All right. See you soon.